Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times and shenanigans. If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the party. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses, both physical and mental and emotional.
There you go. Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
There we go. Wow.
It's been a week, guys. Anyways, you can catch us on YouTube.
Do that.
Do it.
Mostly
catch us on YouTube.
Do
you can also join our Patreon to get exclusive Patreon content.
Yes.
It's there.
Where we are belligerent toward one another.
Yeah, it's great.
Life.
And also, you can join the Discord so that you can join us for our live streams that are on Saturdays mainly, because Fridays are...
They're starting to fall apart because life is eating me alive.
She needs to sleep, guys. She needs to sleep.
Holy cow, I don't sleep. What is sleep?
I know.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. Today, we are going to just stumble our way through it because we have a couple topics we want to touch on. But we did not do an outline because we are in a mood. So there you go. But
it's true.
That makes it time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Do it. I don't know. It's been a week. I've been dying a lot.
Yeah.
Just continually, forever. If it's not POTS, it's the small fiber neuropathy. And if it's not the small fiber neuropathy, it's the small fiber neuropathy causing trigeminal neuralgia.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I love it. And then my joints don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
They really don't.
No, they do not. So, I don't know. And then I had a massive MCAS attack yesterday because they did what's called color battle. And it's where they throw tons and tons and tons. I'm not kidding.
It's an
entire
Indian tradition.
Middle school covered in
it's
powder.
Done in huge amounts in the streets.
Yes.
It's not just some high school quirk.
But I would not be there either. I had to leave early because I knew that all the kids coming out.
You're like, we do color battle because we're quirky. We're unique. We're not
quirky
battle.
or we're unique. No, it's just terrible. Because, so one of my coworkers has a massive corn allergy and she can't be in the school that day at all. And then I was like, I think I'll be fine. And then I was fine until I went into 7th grade and they had already done theirs. And I was like, oh, I can't breathe.
What happens to cornstarch when it gets in your lungs?
It turns into oobleck.
It does.
It's disgusting.
Gets in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oobleck.
Oh, it
any
burns
moisture and you have
so
oobleck.
Bad. It burns so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so by the end of the day, I was like wheezing and I couldn't speak anymore and it was horrible. And I was like, if I don't leave before the kids leave, I'm not going to be able to
Right,
leave.
because they're going to be moving and dusting off.
Exactly. And then it's all going to be in the hallway when I'm trying to get out of here. No. So I left because I was like, I can't do it. And then I went home and the MCAS attack continued.
Poof. Yeah. You swolled up.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. It was not fun. I didn't like it.
Nope.
But then Evan has also been on his bullshit. And if you don't know, that's what we named the demon that lives in my face. He's my face snake who causes unbelievable amounts of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun because I had an attack in front of coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. And so I was like, it was starting up like midday-ish. And I was like, just push through. And by the end of the day, I was like calling a kid to come get his folder. And it sounded like he was in the worst trouble of his life.
Right.
Because I couldn't regulate. And so my poor coworkers just thought I was overwhelmed. And they were like, it's okay. Break is coming up. Like we all just, it's hard to regulate sometimes. And I was like, you
don't know.
No, you don't know.
It's over there.
And then I was in the hallway talking with my coworkers, and I'm like on the verge of tears because I'm in so much fucking pain.
You had to take a cry break.
And I needed to take a cry break, but I was like, where is the like staff bathroom down here? And someone was in the staff bathroom. And so I'm like, ugh, in the hallway trying not to like burst into tears in front of my coworkers. And we're like mid-conversation, and I just go, I either have to cry or throw up, and I'm not sure which, so I need to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and I sat on the floor, and I just bawled for like 4 minutes, and then I got up and finished my day.
As you do.
Yeah. And then I went home, and it got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 8-9 pain. It was really bad. It was fun. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my hip is bad, and my ankle is bad.
Everything is
and
bad.
My shoulder is bad, and I dislocated my elbow so badly that it left a bruise.
Yeah.
For days. Because it popped, this bone popped out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Messed everything up. It was gross. So yeah, that's been my life, and I'm drowning in paperwork, and I'm tired. The end.
Yep. I had a fine week. My week was fine.
He's a liar.
I don't know what to tell you.
He likes to lie. He had a scan done, and the scan really messed his stuff up pretty good.
The scan was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the scan was the beginning of the slow decline of hell.
Yeah. It
Context.
was.
Yeah.
Context.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have bad joints. What do you want from me? I'm not going to say anything that you didn't already say.
Every time he straightens his knee, everyone in the room goes, ooh.
Anytime I lay down or sit or stand or anything, it's
fair.
constant now. That's why it's evolved to lava.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just sharp and then burning, but then it's lava because the burning doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's all the time. And then it's a throbbing. And then
I don't like the throbbing.
And then it's been dislocating while straight.
Ew.
And the only way to set it is to grab it and bend it and pop it back into place forcefully.
How in God's name
I don't know.
is it dislocating straight?
I don't know. I just know that if I rest my legs straight for more than 10 minutes,
that's so weird.
It'll pop out, like slowly, I'm assuming, but like it
Tendons
slides.
Are screwed up.
And then I have to pop it again to make the pain not as bad.
Yucky.
Yeah, it is what it is. And it's on both knees now. And then I threw out both hips because I've been walking weird.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know. Like, I was trying to explain how limping is not a possibility. Because after I fell down the stairs, I think last week, not this week.
Yeah, it was last week.
But last week I fell down the stairs, and I was trying to explain how, like, you can't limp when you have a bad ankle on one side and a bad hip on the other.
Yeah.
There's no relief either way. You just have to walk and hope that you don't just fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and I've had no blood pressure and been super dehydrated.
Oh, yeah. No, fuck, man.
Yeah.
POTS has been ridiculous.
So bad. So bad. And I'm frustrated because I'm like, I want to do well at work. And I'm struggling right now because my body is being
I was going to say, you're not mentally struggling as much.
No, but my body
is physical struggle.
Frustrating me.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, you need to get accommodations. And I'm like, I will work on that eventually.
When I have time.
Yeah.
Literally, you have to do all that during break.
Yes.
But it's important.
Yeah. Yep.
But you've been planning that for a while. Like,
yeah.
That's been the game plan for like 4 weeks now. So.
Yes. Because I just have to get through it. And then it'll be smoother sailing and it won't be so difficult. But right now is hard.
No joke. So, yeah. It's been fun. I'm sure everyone else had a great week.
Yeah.
Because whenever we have horrible weeks, everyone else has horrible weeks.
Yeah. Oh, and you got stung by a wasp.
I did. I was letting the pupper out.
My puppy.
Just like, he's like, let's go outside. I was like, all right, let's go outside. And I would go to shut the door behind me and don't even look. And there was a wasp on the handle because they've been coming inside through the sliding glass door. It's been annoying. Like, Rory's been on super edge about it.
But I bet.
It stung me instantly. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then it was fine. Like, it stung for a couple of seconds and then it was whatever. But then my fingers swole up.
Yep.
And the nail was like.
The nail is like, I'm going to pop off.
Putting pressure on it. I was like, oh.
I don't like that.
It's still swollen. It's deflating now.
Ugh.
It's all wrinkly and funny looking.
I have that going on my thumb because I burned it really bad.
Yeah.
And then it took a while for the blister to come off. So now I just have like a patch of brand new baby skin underneath. But yeah.
Yeah.
So. We could jump into POTS if you want. Considering that
is that what I want?
I don't know what you want.
Is that what I want?
I'm not your mom.
My mom doesn't know what I want. Are you kidding me? No disrespect to my mother.
Wife,
she has
self.
Jen doesn't know either.
I don't know.
These are people who are constantly asking me, "What do you want?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Fine.
I don't know what I want. I want to not feel like crap.
We are mercurial creatures.
Yeah. Right now, I just don't want to feel bad.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I get that. I've been crying a lot. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang you, feelings. Because it's that, like, I am irritated by the fact that I know I'm going to be okay.
Yes.
That annoys me.
Does it also
I don't-
annoy you more that you're not okay in the moment?
Yes.
You're like,
Well,
it will
and
be
I,
okay,
like,
and that's annoying because
And I
I'm
have
not
like
right
a
now.
self-soothe automatically. And then I'm like, I would like to melt down because I can't. And then my body's like, actually, you can. Did you know?
Yes.
And I'm like, but why can't I?
Yeah.
I don't want to can.
I
I
know.
want to can't. But I can, and I will continue to can, and I'm going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And then I discovered the song Unsweetened Lemonade, and it has a line in it that just is perfect. So I've been
song.
listening to it on repeat for the
one
one
line,
line.
yeah.
The one line where she
That's
says,
a lot of music.
I was either going to die at 12 or 90 friggin' 3.
Yep.
And I'm
That's
like,
a good line.
oh, wow, that's me. Dang it. I missed the bus to
You
get off
did.
the planet.
Early. Well, you didn't know it was going to
Oopsies.
get this bad.
Yeah.
You didn't, I had no idea.
I also didn't know there wasn't another exit for like miles, so I hope I have enough gas.
It's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better have enough gas, otherwise you're going to fall into immortality.
I don't want to be immortal.
Bro
please.
runs out of gas halfway on the road to life. Doesn't mean you die. It just means that you're stuck
Don't
there.
let me live forever, please.
Better hope you have an
I
electric
don't want to
vehicle.
live forever.
You got a hybrid.
That sounds horrible.
Make that shit last.
No.
Maybe it's all downhill from here.
I'll just sleep for the
Hopefully
rest
it's all
of my
downhill
life.
so that you can keep your batteries charged.
I got no turbo. I got no brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there
She,
you go.
she hit 93 at a lightning speed.
I'm just
Anyway.
gonna go screaming into 93.
I want to talk about the communication stuff first and then
Okay.
get into pots. Because I don't want to talk about pots because I'm dealing with pots. I
And
don't.
it's annoying and it's
Yeah.
too close to home right now.
It really is.
Yeah. So the communication part came up because I was watching TikTok, as you do when you decide that you would like to stop existing for a little while.
Yeah.
And there was this poor woman who talks about her struggles being autistic and communicating with neurotypicals.
Mm-hmm.
And not understanding why people are angry with her, not understanding what she did wrong, and not understanding the missteps. And she talks about like being somebody who is so she craves community and connection so deeply that she spent her life like studying psychology and studying human behavior and studying all the ways to like
That's such an
perform.
autistic thing
Yes,
to do. I love
but
it.
to perform
Right. Human.
human, yes, and then is still falling short in all of these ways that, and it's just so hard because you want to reach out and be like, it's not you. Please understand that you are not the problem.
Yeah.
You are not at fault for like what's going on. Like
Mm-mm.
and she talks about one of them hit really close to home, which was, she's like, her mom called twice in a row and she was like, oh, something must be important. She answers the phone and her mom's like, did you unload the dishwasher? And she's like, yeah, I did that. And then silence for a minute and she goes, okay, what, you called twice, was there something else?
Yeah.
And her mom gets upset and is like, well, I guess you didn't want to talk to me at all, and then
my
hangs up on
God.
her.
That
And
would
this poor
destroy
thing
me. Yeah.
is like, and it's hard when you are information seeking
If my mom was
and
like that,
people
that
shut
would-
you. Yeah.
that would literally be the conversation
that
I
was
would have.
a lot of my childhood because like being a kid that probably would have been labeled ODD
Yeah.
and being a kid that had ADHD, I was information seeking a lot of the time,
Yeah.
and the information wasn't provided because I was A, supposed to know already, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
B, was lying about not knowing.
That one
Or C,
drove me
I was
fucking
being
nuts.
manipulative through my question.
Even though it's just
or
a question.
it was like disrespectful.
well,
yeah, asking questions.
when you have authoritarians that are hiding things from you,
Yeah.
they're going to be on edge about you asking questions about something
Mhm.
that hits close to home. So it's not your
Yeah.
fault.
Right. But that's the thing
But-
is like
You know what I'm saying?
other people's issues with communication are not your fault,
No,
especially when you are someone who communicates plainly and explicitly.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I wanted to, but
We weren't allowed to though.
right.
We had to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
We were I don't know.
Because
Society trains us to play the game, and working with kids, you see it a lot closer with
Mhm.
this like every single day they're being trained to mask.
Yeah.
They're being trained to perform what it is to be a person.
Yeah.
And I actually had a really like fulfilling moment the other day because it was yesterday. I did not feel good. I was tired. I was over it, and I was just like bitching, appropriately with the kids. But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I want to go home and like, have a nap.
Yeah.
And like all of these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like done with the week. I don't even want to clean my house, but I think I have to make dinner tonight. Like, da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah.
And my kid looks at me and she's just like, Miss, you're just so relatable. And I looked at her and I was like, the thing is like, I want you guys to be able to see examples of neurodivergent people in the world and how we actually live
And
genuinely.
you hate how adults perform perfection.
Yes. I hate how adults perform adult.
Yeah.
That's
They
irritating.
perform to be perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
And they loved that.
Yeah. So the kids appreciated
Well,
it.
that's why I think like Randy and you and Jen and like even Jaime are great examples of people functioning in the world who don't hide shit.
Right. Like I don't.
It just
I'm
say
not
what you
gonna
mean
mask anymore.
There's no
Yeah.
like hidden subtext to
Right.
it. There's just it is.
Right.
I love that shit.
Because no. Go back to the like early seasons and you'll see explicit communication written on my forehead. Gonna get it tattooed there. Because that's the thing is like, communicate with me explicitly or not at all.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Because it's hard. It's hard. It's difficult when people are looking for meaning
When
outside of what you have told them.
well, and it's not their fault either.
No.
You know what I mean? Like when you've been trained to function that way, and then when you get good at reading people, sincerity throws you off.
Yeah.
Because you know, like you know what the subtext would be.
Yes. But when it's not there.
But it's not like, and then how do you
Confusing.
convey?
Mhm.
I'm being sincere right now. Like
Yes.
I'm like, because if you deny it, then you're just
Right.
playing the game harder.
Right.
But you're like, no, I'm literally saying this one thing,
Yes.
and I mean this one thing.
Yes.
That's
Well,
why I
that's the
liked
thing,
Ben
like-
so much. That's why I stuck to him, because he would just tell me straight up.
Yeah.
Like if I came to school and I was messy, he'd be like, dude, you're a mess. And I'd be like, thank you. No one else was going to say it.
That's funny. Because that's the thing is like, why can't we communicate in a way that's not... Because when you're ill, as an ill person, playing the game is draining.
Yeah.
It is extra spoons for absolutely no reason. For no reason. To make other people comfortable. To make other people like second guess what you say at all times. No.
Right. Right.
I'm going to
I
say
don't
what I
have the
mean,
energy
and
for
I
that.
mean what I say, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and imagine how hard it is for like trauma groups like
Mhm.
to deal with, because they
Yeah.
if they're just a traumatized person and they're
Yeah.
healthy,
Mhm.
they have to play the game anyway.
Right. Right.
Which is, and they can see it better.
Mhm.
Oh god.
Well, and the thing is that the more research comes out, the more we see that trauma changes the brain in such a way that the symptoms mimic and are akin to ADHD
Mhm.
and or autism.
Hypervigilance. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like all of those things, and then you have kids who have ADHD and trauma.
Yeah.
And then, hi, hello. Nice to meet you. And we're a mess because we're stupid, like emotionally intelligent. We can see you trying to read between our lines. We can see you trying to find meaning in stuff.
It's like you need to train your people
Mhm.
into just listening to you.
Yes. Like if I
But
I
then
just wanna
like
communicate.
how, so then the trick becomes, how do you communicate explicitly with random social interactions with
Yeah.
random people, right?
Yeah.
Like how do you say, I mean this thing?
I don't know. I spend a lot of time like rapport building.
Yeah.
That's how I like convey that sincerity, is like I show up with the sincerity first.
I think that's why I memorize things so well.
That might be
Because that's part of my rapport building. Is like, I will take an interest in anything you have to say to me if you're a new person.
that's really
And I
okay.
clock it. And I'm like, that is who you are in my head.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like with Vizzy. Vizzy
Yeah.
was that birthday
Yeah.
and had like school going on and was trying to set up the con stuff.
I haven't
And
thought about it that deep.
it's,
I don't know
it's weird
how
to
I
think
go
about, right?
it. I think
Like
a lot
how
of
you build rapport, like
Yeah.
your strategy.
my rapport building is a lot of relational rapport.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
it's like I understand you and here's how. And
I
I'm
had
gonna
to back
show
off that
you
because people thought I was
several
being
ways.
one-upping.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think that happens a lot in my world, but
It's only
not
like
what
on
is
first appearance.
happening. Yeah,
Once they
that's
get to
not
know
what's
you, they
happening.
understand that you're not doing that.
It's
But
literally, it's just I'm trying to find ways, and it's not like I'm trying to find ways. It's my brain is making connections
Yeah.
as I speak to you,
Mhm.
and going, oh, we can pull information from here
yeah,
to understand you better.
I do that. Like I said, though, I think I made an effort to not do it as much.
Yeah,
In
Or
like
as
first
loud,
interactions, as loud
Yeah.
is the best way to put that.
right.
Because it was like people would be like, "Oh, you have it worse than me." I was like, "No, that's not what I mean at all. I'm
I
just
don't
trying to like
that.
tell you that I
Yeah.
have gone through something similar and I understand what it's like to be you."
Right. It's
I get your
interesting now,
position.
like at my workplace, because I'm not experiencing toxic concern.
And you
Which
thought you
is-
would.
I really thought I would.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't as upfront with the health stuff this time around because I was thrown in and it was like, bam, do your job. So it was kind of sidelined in a way, and then I had to kind of slowly introduce elements of what was going on
Yeah.
and pick the right people
Mm-hmm.
to give the elements to and be like, here's what's happening in my world. And then slowly adding on, which makes me nervous. I don't like the slowly adding on because it just sounds like I'm collecting
Yeah.
diagnoses, and I'm not. They're always there. The
It.
puppy was there the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you windows
Well, I think
and then broadening the
your
window.
approach is good though.
Yeah.
I don't think that it comes off that way because
I hope not, because
people have been saying you need to get accommodations. So it
Yes.
says they understand what
Right.
you're going through.
right. Well, and that's what
And
I
that
mean
it's
with
not
like
easy.
it's not toxic concern. It's very much like checking in on me in a different way and in a
Also-
respectful way that leaves me with my space.
It's not as cutthroat, I think.
Mhm.
I don't think there are many people vying for your position or to get rid of you for
Right. Well, I haven't pissed
reasons.
anybody off. 'Cause
Right,
I
right.
Keep to myself.
You get what I'm saying?
yes.
though, like,
yeah.
like when Jen was working
Mhm.
for evil corporations
Right.
and everything was like any sign of
Cutthroat to
weakness
get
is
to
now
the
you're
top, yeah.
done.
Oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. It's just I spend a lot of time in the relational realm because it's what I'm good at.
Mhm.
I know I'm good at it. That is something that like is not debatable in my world. And then B, it helps me to understand where other people are coming from and then understand the angles at which I need to approach everybody. And so that helps me to communicate explicitly in a way that doesn't totally throw them off. So I
Right.
can look at somebody and go, okay, you're going to be a little more sensitive. I have to be careful with how I give you information. Or you're going to read tone in an email that's not there. So I have to be really careful about the tone of that email.
Right.
And then there are other people where I'm like, hey, can you do the thing? Cool. Done.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all there is. So, but it's the neurodivergence.
Right.
It's the people who like
Same
my
brain.
brain speaks to.
Yeah.
It's
It's like Bluetoothing to another
Yeah.
person.
Did you ever like as a kid? And I had this.
No. I was never a kid. Anyway, no. Go on.
He was never a child. As a kid, I constantly felt like I was like a puzzle piece from a different puzzle. Just constantly. I was like, I don't fit, and I'm not gonna fit because this isn't the picture that I belong to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to think about it because it's more that I knew I wasn't normal. And it wasn't
had
that
a
like
lot of
I'm
that,
the
too.
main character. It was more like I don't fit the mold that everyone
Yes.
else is in.
Yeah.
But I see what's going on, and then I'd be like, I can support you. Like
Yeah.
I can help people.
Yeah.
I took care of my mom as a kid, like
Right.
it was the help the people
Right,
mentality was
right.
my role.
Well, because I don't know.
But I
Chronic
knew.
illness and trauma build a different kind of empathy where
Yeah.
not only can we be like, oh, I can sort of imagine what you're going through. It's like, oh, I can pull up emotions that mirror that
Mm-hmm.
directly. And that sucks. And I hate that. And I don't want that for you.
I also had to like hide, like I didn't feel comfortable doing anything that I would perceive as selfish. So if I did anything that would be like personal growth wise, I had to like hide it so that no one saw
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was.
Well, you were also in a
protective.
really like toxic masculinity kind of environment where you were being pushed to fulfill that mold of like, and I don't use toxic masculinity lightly, but I'm talking about like cowboy masculinity of your leg came off, rub some dirt in it.
Yeah, when I stabbed myself through my leg with a T-post to the bone where you could see the bone through my femur, like from the back. Think about how much muscle is there. That's crazy. The solution was to duct tape it.
Yeah.
We didn't go to a doctor. It was just duct tape it up.
Yeah. Right.
That was the reality.
And then
was suck it up, buttercup.
Don't be emotional and don't display emotionality and don't let on that you understand emotions and yeah. Which is stupid because it's such a valuable skill.
Yeah.
Like when you understand how other people work, that empathy, I don't know. I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day where like how we build the communication and the empathy. And for me, it was a lot of like, I had to learn that I was allowed to communicate.
Yeah, that was the living with Ben period for me.
Right. Like
was rebuilding that skill set.
So like just wiping everything clean and going, no, you're allowed to communicate what's going on with you.
Yeah.
So that was like step one. Then came the like self-exploration. And then within that, and I mean, I've always been self-reflective, but within that came the self-compassion.
Yeah, I was gonna say the like building and being okay to build and grow. And
so the self-compassion and the grace really allowed me to access the empathy that was already there in a way that wasn't just pain.
Right.
Because all that empathy was just, it was pain because it was my pain and it's your pain and it's just pain.
Well, yeah, you take
and
it on.
And then you shut it all out as a kid because you're like, I can't cope. I can't cope with my pain. How am I supposed to cope with yours?
I just took it all in.
I was just an asshole and I was like, I hate all humans. I'm going to be out here with the animals.
No, man. You tell me your tragic backstory and I lived your tragic backstory. And now it is part of me.
That's how I felt about like media, like books and stories. And stories were huge for me in building empathy and understanding of like other people's internal monologues. Yeah. Because like you were saying with you knew you weren't normal. Like I always had that, but it was that like, you know how you backtalk yourself and you're like, oh, well, I think everybody probably feels
this way.
They're not normal.
Right, exactly.
And then there was the question of like, but do they? Like, do normal people wake up and go, oh, the way I feel is not normal? I don't think that's right.
Right.
So it was just the double-sided coin of doom.
Right. No,
destruction.
you're both at the same time.
Yes.
I get that. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Communication, it's just hard. It's hard when our society teaches us that direct communication is rude or disrespectful or like you have to play the game and you have to wrap up your communication and all of these extra words.
That's why I like watching stupid shows like The Circle because they have their own, like if you watch the first season of The Circle, it was literally they were treating it like Facebook.
Oh, that's funny.
So like they would tell you like, I'm going to get information from so-and-so by asking them about this aspect of their life.
Yeah.
And then by like the 8th or 7th season, the one that just came out, there's like already a built-in like set. I don't know. Like it became its own thing.
Okay.
It's no longer Facebook. It's The Circle Talk.
Interesting.
So like the first season, they start off and they're like, you guys can now talk. And they're like, I don't want to be the first one to talk.
Huh.
And then like, they're like, hi, everyone. Send. But then now you get to season 7 and they're like, hey guys, so glad to be here. Isn't this great? #CircleFam. Like that's their first message. That's always been the first message for like 5 seasons now.
Wow, interesting.
And it's just the way it evolved was crazy to me. So I like watching stupid brain rot like that because it's like, wow, I understand every aspect of what's happening here and they don't. Yes. And it's funny.
Okay. Can we touch on that real quick? Because the like
no.
No,
we can't.
Okay.
No, we can't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to be obtuse. Because I'm just being too acute.
He's always acute.
Or I'm right.
No.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Do you get it?
I've been doing 8th grade math.
She's been doing 8th grade math guys.
For like 9 weeks now. It's
For like
obnoxious.
No, she didn't do it during 8th grade. God forbid.
I probably didn't.
No, I
Let's
wasn't
be real,
around
I
for that
didn't
part.
have like an 8th grade. Yes, you were.
Was I
right
for
before I
8th
went-
grade?
To high school?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wasn't around though. I wasn't in the house during that.
No,
so I wasn't there for the
out
lessons.
a lot. Yes.
Because I can
There
remember.
weren't lessons though. There weren't any.
I can remember.
There were no lessons. It was
the
like here's the
classes.
books.
I can remember
Bye.
specific days,
I remember specific
like
days.
whole conversations that you and Mom would have about math.
Mhm.
Why? I was so not into doing my work, which was probably Christian class, that like I remember just and then like being like
just
it's,
us screaming at
well,
each other.
and like knowing the
continually?
answer and how to describe it, but not being able to just walk in and go like it's like this actually. This is why it's
well,
like that.
okay. This is
'Cause
something
you
I
needed
learned
the
as
full
an
picture,
adult. Yes.
And then she wasn't giving you
This
the full
is
picture.
something
Just
that I
do it.
learned exactly. I like why when I ask you help, do it. That's not help. I have a kid right now who is dealing with a teacher who's like that. She's like, I ask her for help because I don't understand, and then she either tells me, "Yes, I do understand. You were supposed to be paying attention, so too bad,"
Right.
or she's like, reads it to me and then is like, "Do it."
Do it. Yeah,
That's not help.
no. And what's funny
What?
is that I just had this with Rory, and I loved it because it was the
It's
total
healing,
antithesis to everything that I ever did. But like when we were doing math together,
Yeah.
I would show him the right way.
Yes.
He would think and then be like, Dad, can I do it my way? And I was like,
Yeah.
absolutely do it your way.
Yeah.
See if you
Explore.
get to the same spot. And then he got it.
Yeah.
And then for every question after that, he was nailing it. Like I just showed him
Oh, I
like
love
the
that.
framework, and then he dissected it, turned it
'Cause
into
that's
his
the thing, is,
language,
like,
and got it.
that's exactly it. Turning it into their language. Like when I teach math,
Yeah.
I'm not. When kids are struggling with general instruction,
Mhm.
I'm not going back to general instruction to teach them.
Right.
I'm going back to how do I like take this, digest it, and then reproduce it in a way that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And is like, here is your brain. Here is this is built specifically for your brain, and that's what I'm good at. With
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah.
And I've had kids go, "Miss, you just understand me."
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I do."
The coolest thing was he had his 504 meeting.
Yeah.
And some of the they kept
Ken was telling me
they were
this.
gushing about him
Aw.
basically.
Yeah.
And like he one of the things they said was literally what we did together was he's like they're like he just figures it out his way,
Yes.
and once he does figure it out his way, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what he does. That's
Yeah.
and he's quick.
It has to be translated. Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like neurodivergent brains, it's not a disability, guys. It's literally a different structure.
Mhm.
It is a different way of processing information. It is a different way of producing information. It is a different way of like looking at the world around us
Yeah.
at all times. Like it's so
The funny thing
involved.
is like I remember while I was doing it, like I was reliving trauma because like I remember the way Benny
Yeah.
would teach me the same thing,
Oof.
which was literally this is how it's done. Like he was taking calculus in community college at the
Okay,
times,
okay.
and he was like, "This is how you do it," and I'd be like, "Why?" He's like, "This is how you
'Cause-
do it.
Yeah, cause.
Why aren't you doing it this way?"
Mhm.
It's like I don't understand what you're doing. It doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me. Why?
We have
What does
to
it
have
represent?
a conversation about it.
Right. I need to understand
Ugh.
the like situation in which
Right?
this is
Like,
applicable,
where's the why?
and then I can
Uh-huh.
restructure it, and then
Yes.
it was just fun to watch him go through that and not have that like frustration of
Yes,
why am I
and, like,
stupid? Why can't I get it?
Crying at the table. Well, and I remember, and this is something that I didn't learn until I was an adult. And I always thought it was like, maybe she was right and I was just being stubborn and I knew the answer the whole time.
Mhm.
But no, what happens is your brain goes into overdrive because someone is screaming at you, telling you that you know how to do the thing,
Mhm.
do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. And you're bawling and crying and screaming and you can't regulate your own stuff. Your body goes into fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And then in the adrenaline,
If you get
you
it, that's
get
like
the-
the worst
Yes,
too, because then
and
they're
then
like, I was right the whole time.
exactly. So you pull it out of your ass in a moment of adrenaline, but you can't reproduce it without the adrenaline.
Right? Yeah.
And so what are we teaching kids? That like,
To panic.
yes,
Literally.
And so I had one of my coworkers was talking about a kid. She was like, he literally would just shut down.
Yeah.
When you asked him to do math. And I was like, dude, I had a high schooler who would have panic attacks if you asked him to do math.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so freaking brutal the way that they're like, let's communicate this, but also not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to tell you a thing and hope that your brain gets it.
Yeah.
And if your brain doesn't get it, it's your fault and your problem.
Yeah.
What? No. Maybe let's like build in the neurodiversity.
Yeah.
Because different ways of thinking of things, that's how we build new information.
Yeah, exactly. It was just nice to walk away from Roy's experience and for him to just be excited and happy
Right.
that he learned a thing.
Oh my God, I can't
and
imagine
not
how
crying at the
healing
table.
that is. Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is legit.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't do anything there.
Yeah.
And I think that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, because you gave him the room.
Yeah.
And the support to
Right.
be able to like work through it.
I was stunned when he asked, when he was like, can I do it my way? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
Just do it your way.
It's just hard.
And
It's
he
just
got those
hard.
fractions down.
It's rough working with these kids and like, oh, my coworker was telling me about her neurodivergent shutdown moment because my room partner is also ADHD and we have a blast. But I don't sit in chairs generally.
Right.
Generally, I sit on tables. I sit on tables and I help kids.
She's like that edgy, cool teacher. She's like the substitute, but never substitute.
I just will not sit in. No, I don't know. It's a neurodiverse thing.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's funny. It's like the guy who sits backwards in chairs
Yes.
all the time for
Yeah.
no reason.
Right.
It's like,
I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit. Well, and it baffles the kids because I'll sit on the table like this.
yeah,
And then
have everything in front of you.
Everything in front of me, and I'll work this way.
Yeah.
And they're like, Miss, how are you bending like that? I'm like, guys, we've been over this.
You know the answer.
Come on.
You know this.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll be like, show me your elbows again. I'm like, okay, fine here. But
especially with middle schools, I'm sure they're
it's just
really
funny.
just taken aback
It's
by it.
funny.
Like,
And I have kids who like dislocate their thumbs, and I'm like, keep an eye on that. Ugh. But my coworker was like, yeah, I used to sit on the tables, and then the social worker was like, we're trying to set an example.
yeah.
And I immediately was like, someone said that to you as an adult? They told you to stop sitting on the tables and set an example? Are you kidding me? Maybe let's set an example that neurodiverse people exist
Yeah.
and that it's okay. How about that? Let's do that.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about that.
I feel like people who like insist on kids learning cursive have that same mindset though.
Yes. Well, and the people who are like trying to get autistic kids to stop stimming, it is so gross. It's like, here you have to mask in order to survive in the world, and you're like, no, you are they hurting anybody?
Yeah.
Is this oh no, it makes you uncomfortable in public.
There was like a week where Rin had discovered what stimming was and was trying to make it her rebellious
She was
thing.
like,
I do this because I stim now. And I was like, cool. Jen and I were like, go for it. If it helps, it helps.
Yeah.
Jen for a bit was against it because she didn't realize it was stimming. She thought Rin was like just being impatient and had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Like, no. And then once the word stimming was introduced, Jen was like, oh, no. Okay, fine. Yeah, do it. Do your thing.
Do what you got to do, kid. It's just, I don't know. Stop trying to force everybody into the box.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the neurotypical box because there's an awful lot of neurodiverse people out there in the world. And typical is not the way we should be putting that. Because,
I still say normies.
Normies, yeah. How the victors write the history books.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what we have in societal form.
Right.
So let's dissect that, maybe.
You want to talk about pots with the last bit? I saw you check the clock, so I'm like...
I wasn't sure how far in we were, and I was like, I don't know if we've been talking about this too long.
No.
But, yeah. I don't know. It's hard. It's rough. We see you.
There, she talked about pots. We're done.
The end.
Well,
No.
people have been wanting us to talk about pots for a while, so I figured that we should touch on it. But we can't... I don't think we could drag a whole episode out of it, honestly.
No. Pots is just... It's really hard right now because I'm trying to restructure everything through the lens of having the small fiber neuropathy.
Yeah.
And whether or not the small fiber neuropathy is the cause of the POTS or if it's a contributor.
I want to know too, because I definitely have the neuropathy. Like,
Yeah. Well,
and
and I
if-
feel like the POTS is getting worse
yeah,
in the fact that like I can't regulate my body temperature.
right.
I just can't.
Right. With me, they thought at the very beginning, they thought that was a thyroid issue.
Yeah.
And then the
Oh, for me
thyroids
too.
were fine.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't fine, but it wasn't the cause
Mine
of
was like flip-flopping.
Right.
It was
Same.
like running really high and then not at all.
So we went with I think I take uppers
Okay.
for my thyroid, or I
Yeah.
used to. I don't anymore.
Okay.
But I used to take something that would increase my thyroid levels
Right.
to err on the side of cautiousness.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I
Nothing. It's just.
don't know. I've seen a lot of people with POTS going through it a lot more lately too, though.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of universal.
Yeah. Well, and this is another area in which like visibility matters right now because we're seeing so many cases of POTS coming out of long COVID
Yeah.
and cases of like
Yeah.
really severe COVID.
We should for visibility's sake. What
Yeah.
is POTS?
POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It is a form of dysautonomia.
Which is
So dysautonomia is the dys as in not working of your autonomic nervous system. What is your autonomic nervous system?
temperature,
Take care
breathing,
of.
anything that you don't do
Heart rate.
willingly.
Yes.
That you can't change your heart rate by well, you can if you actually
You can, yes, but
you know what I mean.
But
Like
yeah,
you're not supposed
thinking
to
you're not
do
like beat my heart every moment. So it's your automatic functions
that aren't
that your body is
functioning
supposed
correctly.
to like take care of without you worrying about it.
right.
And then your body's like, "Hello, I would like to not do that."
And commonly it's associated with
High heart rate, low blood
blood pressure.
Yes.
Right. And changes to blood pressure and heart rate whenever you
Yes.
change positions.
Exactly. So it's a postural aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I've never had it like fully properly diagnosed because it just wasn't a priority prior. But I know that mine is on a delay.
Mhm.
So I will do a thing, stop doing the
Yours
thing.
is on a crazy delay.
Yeah.
Not just a delay,
Do
but
the
like,
thing, stop doing the thing. Then my body freaks
out.
out. Like hardcore freaks
and
out.
this isn't
Sometimes-
anecdotal.
Yeah, no.
We've literally documented this by going to like
Oh yeah.
the gym
Like
and watching
my
her-
trainers have
her
seen
stats. Like I've seen it. Like
Yeah.
we did the biking. We
Uh-huh.
did 30 minutes of biking. We moved to the treadmill.
Yep.
And then
it. And then
before we had initiated anything, her heart rate
it was
freaked
like,
out.
"Whoa!" Yeah. Mhm.
It's crazy.
So I'll complete something, but as soon as I stop doing, everything falls apart.
Mhm.
And then I am like on the verge of passing out. I'm shaking.
Mhm.
I'm sweating from wrong places too. Like I'm not sweating in a regulate your body temperature
Right.
kind of
No,
way.
it's
It's a like your body is just in a panic.
Yeah.
Over nothing.
like
Mhm.
a cold sweat almost.
Yes, very much a cold sweat. And then like the shakiness and an inability to stand up, I stop being able to like see.
Mhm.
Like I can see.
No, it becomes like-
I can't process what I'm
Right.
seeing.
You're taking in the info.
Yes. It's like looking at the
But-
world through completely unfocused eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it kind of feels. Your vision starts to flatten. Your heart, it gets you tapping. And
I
you
think
think
you're
you're
gonna
gonna die.
That's also signs of a panic attack.
Yeah. No. I don't know. What is POTS like for you?
It's pretty much the same. I experience a lot of dizziness when not moving,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Oh, I
Just
used to
the
just
random
get the spins for no
poo.
reason.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, okay.
Oh, and nausea. Nausea is a massive element.
yeah.
Lightheadedness,
Mm-hmm.
shortness of breath.
Oh god, I haven't had that in a while. But yeah, that was really bad at
that
the beginning
one.
of the year.
Yeah.
I've just been blacking out left and right. Just
Well, and I do this thing where I just go into pre-syncope and I stay in pre-syncope
pre-syncope.
forever.
Right.
So I won't black out fully, but
No,
I'm
but you're like,
constantly on the verge of blacking
right,
out.
you're right there.
It's nasty.
and you're
I
like
hate
focusing
it.
on it. You're like,
You're
focus,
like, okay,
focus.
just either pass out or don't.
right. And you're just in it for
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah.
It just sucks.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is that I got diagnosed with mono because of it.
Oh yeah.
Because they thought that like it was always like
You had
you're
like a CDE issue, like not CDE. Good lord. I don't
she
know.
lost it.
I don't know.
My
the place with the things and the stuff.
Oh, CDC.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to go to the CDC. and get my first what is it?
They
The
thought
really
they were gonna,
fun
like,
exam.
quarantine you. It was weird.
The one that all men are freaked out about. Prostate exam.
Oh, okay.
That was fun. Guy was not gentle. But like they ran the gamut of tests.
Yeah.
Because my temperatures were always fluctuating. My blood pressure went from 60 to 120 to 180.
Yeah.
Backwards. So I went from moving inactive
Okay,
at
so
60
yours
to
is like
sitting
mine,
to laying
where
down,
it's like
and
we're
it
gonna
went up and up and up.
freak out for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and like my heart rate will skyrocket if I'm speaking a
Yeah.
lot or like gesticulating a lot. That will do it. Or anytime, literally, doesn't matter what the heck I'm doing. If I have my hands above my head, I'm going into presyncope.
Yeah. But do you sleep with your arms above your head?
Sometimes, not lately.
Well, you have a doggo in your
Yeah.
way.
There's a doggo in
But
there.
like I would catch myself sleeping that way a lot too.
Yeah.
Kind of like forcing myself to sleep.
Right? I just wanted to pull up the picture because there's like a good guide that has a bunch of the symptoms for.
My favorite is when you're like at a doctor's office and they're doing the blood pressure test and they're doing the heart rate and oxygen, the O2 sat.
Yeah.
And like they're talking to you and you're talking to them, so
Yep.
your heart rate's really high. And then they're like, "Is your heart always this high?" It's like, "It's POTS." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
I had that problem a lot when in the throes of COVID
Mhm.
because I would go to the doctor's office and you know how they were taking your temperature at the door?
Yeah.
I would get there, they would take my temperature and be really upset
Yeah.
because my temperature was really high. And I would be like, actually, just wait 10 minutes. It's POTS.
It's fine. Yeah.
And then it would come right back down.
Yeah.
So
I've gotten used to doing that now.
Yeah.
Being like,
It's-
your heart rate, your
You're like,
blood pressure,
"Just
they're
hold
all
on a
elevated. It's
second.
like,
Just
give me
wait a
10
minute.
minutes.
Just wait a minute. Yeah.
And then, so now they've gotten in the habit of doing the tests after my visits now.
Yes. Because
So-
you're like, let him sit down for a little
Give him a
while.
sec.
Smart.
Let them
Yeah.
cook.
I just don't know. It's just frustrating. And then if you look at the signs and symptoms for small fiber, dysautonomia is right in there.
Yeah.
And so you have like chronic fatigue as one of them, restless legs, skin feels like it's vibrating. I have that. It's the
I've had
internal
all three of
tremor.
these
I
so
hate
far.
that. Temperature dysregulation.
Yeah.
Yep. Electric shocks. Yep.
Yep.
Frostbite sensation. Yep. Trigeminal neuralgia. Yep. Gentle contact causes great pain. Yes. Dysautonomia. Toes or feet burn. Yes.
Yeah.
Cardiac and gastrointestinal. Ready? Here we go. Shortness of breath. Yes.
Yep.
Exercise intolerance.
Yep.
Yes. Palpitations or bradycardia. Yes. Heat intolerance.
Yes.
Orthostatic hypotension.
Yep.
Yes. Early gastroparesis. Yes. Acid reflux.
Yep.
Yes.
I have GERD.
Nausea or vomiting.
Yep.
Yes. Constipation, diarrhea, or alternating. Yes. POTS. POTS is literally listed as a sign and symptom of small fiber neuropathy. Skin sensations, right?
So I need to get that diagnosed.
Holy cow. Neuropathic pain. Yes.
Yeah.
Loss of sensation. Yes. Prickly sensations. Yes. Pins and needles. Yes. Tingling skin. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Numbness in toes or feet. Yes. They should add hands in there. I don't know why that's not in there.
Because that's not a sign of. It's actually.
That's just me. I'm
numb
dying.
hands
Oh my god.
is a sign of deep state brainwashing.
Psychopathy. Okay.
Everyone knows that.
Here's the next one. Ready? Unable to feel a pinprick. I don't know. I haven't tried.
I have with my feet. They did it post some appointments.
Oh
and
no,
stuff.
they did. They did do it for when I was getting the holes punched in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
yes,
part of the test.
blanket. Oh, hypersensitivity. So weight of a blanket might be too much sometimes. Yes. Feels like ants biting. Yes. Itchy skin. Yes.
That happened.
Hyperalgesia. What is that?
Hyperalgesia. Isn't that?
Hold on. Hyperalgesia. It is a fancy word. Abnormal increase in sensitivity to pain. Interesting. Oh, what happens in our hands and feet?
Yeah.
Where it's like you hit something like not even that hard is the worst part. And it'll be like, oh, ow, that hurt. And then it'll be like, oh,
that really hurt. Yeah.
I
stood on
I
stood on one of the dog toys the other day.
Oh,
Didn't feel it. And then I sat down and I was like, why does my foot hurt so bad all of a sudden?
Yes.
Because like it's like numbness and then hyperalgesia apparently.
Yep. And then, okay, here's the last box. Miscellaneous. Burning mouth or tongue. Yes. Hair growth stops on legs.
Yeah. I actually have that. There's patches.
I have patches. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Osteopenia. What is that? Let's see.
Teeny peeny syndrome.
Osteopenia.
Penia, so it has to be something with your bones.
Bone loss.
Oh.
I don't know about that one.
Well, we don't know. Bone density, I guess.
Urinary urgency. Yes. Difficulty emptying bladder. Yes. Lightheadedness. Yes. Brain fog due to reduced blood flow. Yes. Color changes on skin. Yes. Slow to heal wounds. Yes.
Yep.
And decreased sweating. Yes. So we literally hit every single sign and symptom for the small fiber neuropathy. For your reference, I am officially diagnosed with small fiber neuropathy, and that is what's causing the trigeminal neuralgia. So it's a matter of like kind of reclassifying the dysautonomia and understanding.
Well, and that's the thing, right? There's so many things that could cause it.
More in this huge picture that is.
But that would explain why some treatments don't work.
Yeah.
Like the typical treatments, and why it would be more of a work on your.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's just. Well, and that's why like I've been feeling a little bit hopeless about the like POTS symptoms, the dysautonomia in general.
Yeah.
Because it's getting to a point where like it's unmanageable. And if I get dehydrated, if I fall behind on water one day.
Catch up is like IV time.
It's awful. And it takes me, if I don't get an IV, it takes me like 4 days to recoup. And then try going to work in those 4 days while you're dehydrated and you're in like pre-syncope the entire day, trying not to freak anybody out, trying not to faint, trying not to get an ambulance called, trying not to make anybody be like, oh, she's super dramatic. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot and it sucks and it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's just hard. And in the summer, we can't be upright.
No.
The heat intolerance is massive.
Legit.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could regulate my body temperature.
That would be a huge one.
Like if I had to pick one symptom out of
I don't know.
The dysautonomia.
I'm okay with being hot and cold if I can be awake. Fatigue is annoying the crap out of me lately.
Fatigue really is terrible. But being awake and hot is horrible.
I'm okay with it.
I am not.
I also grew up in the desert.
But it's not like hot on the outside.
No, it's
like
internal burning
from here up, and it's literally cooking my freaking brain.
That's why Jen will do
cooking myself.
when she's like, "Are you running a fever?" She's like, check
you gotta
legs,
go down.
Check.
Like,
where?
Is it an actual fever or is it just a pure fever? Because
or is it MCAS? Because if you're MCASing too,
the inflammation is crazy.
Right.
The MCAS sucks because what is MCAS since we're on
mast cell activation, which is
yes.
a allergic response basically. If you think about it, it's the body reacting to nothing but acting as if you're having an allergen in your system.
Yes.
It's
so it's like an immunological condition.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was autoimmune until somebody was like, "Oh, it looks like here," because that was when COVID.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, can you have the shot? You have an autoimmune condition." And I was like, "I do."
Yeah. No, you do.
MCAS, and I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, think about all my bad medicine reactions are basically MCAS.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I feel like I MCAS about the dysautonomia.
Yeah.
And then I get like horrible burning throughout my guts and I am nauseous constantly. Oh, it's horrible. And then I get with the MCAS, my face will swell up, but it always starts with like burning on my upper lip.
Yep.
And then it's like my own breath burns me.
I have that right now.
It's horrible. I hate it.
Literally, I keep going like this because it's like.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. And you're like, what in God's name is going on here?
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's fun. But it can cause hives, swelling, low blood pressure, difficulty breathing, diarrhea, abnormal pain, or I'm sorry, abdominal pain,
abdominal
cramping, flushing, itching, and wheezing. I wheeze, but I think that's vocal cord dysfunction, honestly.
I wheeze sometimes.
I wheeze a lot. But it's almost always on the in.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Remember that time I had that sinus infection for like 2 years?
Is it back?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I just used to squeak a lot on the podcast. Like I would hear the
the breathing, yeah.
the
was like,
wheezing or the whistling. I was like I really wish you would stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like there's something I can
I
do.
get all kinds of self-conscious about it. Ugh.
Yeah. So that's that.
But there you go. There's our really like quick rambling about pods. It's a pain in the ass.
We see you. It's not a small thing.
Right.
People play it off like it's
It's
one
not,
of the
though.
like tertiary conditions.
There are people who literally have such bad postural orthostatic reactions that they can't be upright.
Right, exactly.
Like they can't be upright.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine having to live your life tilted back at all times because you can't be upright?
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten used to not having any blood in my brain, and so I just like function despite everything. And I'm like, oh, I can't see. Oh, I'm dizzy. Oh, well. I just keep going.
Right.
Ooh, I'm like, it's not going to stop me.
That's how I end up on the floor a lot of the time. Is because I'm like, this probably won't be the one that I black out
I
with.
do the one where I'm like, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass out, don't pass
Oh,
out.
yeah,
and
you
then
focus.
You clench everything because you're like, don't. I'm busy. I'm literally in the middle of pouring something. If I pass out now, bad things will happen. And I'm not doing it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Or you're
gotcha.
going to scare somebody
Mhm.
because that's worse. Why is that worse?
It's what every time I've blacked out in front of someone, my first reaction is always to apologize to them.
Yes.
Because I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
Because you spent your childhood being told that.
The trauma. It's the trauma.
It's the trauma.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's the trauma.
When in doubt,
Trauma. Traumatize them back? I don't know.
Why don't you go away? Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. There you have it. Oh, my hip.
Go flirt with your puppy.
Yeah, go flirt with the baby. He loves Jen.
He does.
Loves Jen. And then she giggles like a little schoolgirl when he's being adorable, and I love it.
The other day, she stayed home because she was having a migraine.
Mhm.
So I brought the puppy in, and she just lit up. It was great. And he was kissing her and like rolling around and cuddling
He's
her. And
so cute. He's such a good boy.
He is a good
really
boy.
is a good boy. I'm glad we get to share him with you.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Any more? Did you rant your soul through? Like,
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm in pain.
Yeah,
My hip is hurting.
Look at this. I bent it. Now I'm doomed. And this
Oof.
one's bent too.
Yeah, you're in trouble. That one's really tight though. I just keep wrapping this shit so I can put like tension on it, which is not good, but I'm gonna do it because
Well, like I feel like this is better because at least it's not moving.
yeah, but
It's not in. It's
the
not where it's
swollen
supposed to be.
tissues of,
I know
that's what gets because it gets crampy.
it does, but at
And,
least
like,
it's
the
not
cold freezing sensation.
left freely doing whatever it
Do you
wants.
get the like freezing knees?
Mhm.
I hate freezing knees. What is that? Why is that? Why? Freezing knees horrible. Bad. I used to get it really bad as a kid.
Mhm.
All right, I'm in pain and I need to be done now. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it. Hope you got something out of this, even if it was just funny to watch us rant.
Or relatable.
Yeah, that
Hopefully
too.
you feel seen because
Yes.
you're not alone in this.
Right. And if you made it this far, please drop a like down below. Like, share, subscribe. I have to go wash my soul with bleach now. But we love you. So be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Take your meds.
I knew it. I
Take
knew it.
them.
I was like, she's skipping it.
Take your meds. Drink
your meds,
water.
Drink water. Touch grass.
Eat a snack
Kiss
because you
yourself
are
in
a
the rain.
snack. Yeah. I was going to say eat yourself in the rain, and that didn't
Don't.
come out right. Okay.
And if you're
Love-
bipolar, check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Are you bipolar? Are you manic?
Are
you
you?
not?
Are you still bipolar?
Are you still? It might not be there. It might be good. You might be better. I'm not. Don't. You're
Please
fine.
don't discontinue your meds.
Yes, keep taking them.
Keep taking your meds.
Dear God.
It's important. We love you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.